Last but not least, Hien! I saved the best for last.
Do mine eyes deceive me? Lady Zordia! Oh, thank the kami! Lord Hien has requested assistance in the resolution of a most urgent matter. The hunt for a fell beast believed to be a blasphemy. Though we have made great strides in ensuring the safety of our people, we fear even our finest shinobi will be no match for this enemy, for it commands the skies of Doma.
Wait, really?
But as your talent for striking down foes at a distance is beyond compare, I can think of no one better to aid us in overcoming this adversity.
What will you say? 'Twould be my pleasure. Well, if no other marksman is up for no, 'twould be my absolute pleasure.
Oh, kami be praised! I shall inform Lady Yugiri that she may receive you at the Domon Enclave. Safe travels, Lady Zordia.
Oh, great. Perfect. It's in the Domon Enclave? I can take stuff to the Domon Enclave. Love that.
It is good to see you, Zordia. When we received word that you of all people had answered our call, I could scarcely believe it. Yet here you are. Lord Hien would be pleased for this reunion, if you would wait here a moment.
I'm gonna see Lord Hien! Sorry, I'm like, so excited.
Well,
that the kami should guide your— I cannot stop smiling. Serious. I just haven't seen him in a long time, okay?
Well, the kami should guide your steps to our door once more, and with more fortuitous timing.
Anything for you, Hien?
Pray forgive me for not affording you a hero's welcome, but time is not on our side. Not long after receiving word of men transforming into hideous beasts in Thavner, a similar creature was born of a woman in Isari. After attacking another villager, it took to the skies and fled, though to where we know not. An all too cruel twist of fate, for the one slain was among the prisoners returned to us in the deplorable exchange with Asahi and the Empire.
Oh, shiz.
Just when they had at last begun to piece their life back together.
Oh.
This blasphemy must be stopped. Alas, our foe is wont to keep to the skies, well beyond the reach of our samurai and shinobi. Thus did we seek the aid of those proficient in ranged combat, able to pluck the beast from the heavens.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Of course, martial prowess alone will not solve our problems. Others have turned into weaker, but no less gruesome abominations, as was the case in Thavner, and their numbers increased by the day. From what I understand, this phenomenon is not unlike a sickness which spreads by feeding on fear and anxiety, emotions which of late can be found in abundance. Slaying the beasts means nothing if the people's hearts cannot be put at ease. Lord Hien!
Who dis? You okay? Kid? Do I know you? Oh.
You have to help the villagers. They... Sir, please, calm yourself and tell us what happened. Another has been turned into my lord. For a blessing, no one was harmed, but when the beast flew into a rage, but the people are in a panic. I fear what may happen next. It would seem we have even less time than I thought. Worry not, we will see to the beast. As of yet, there is no cure for this affliction, but we will save what lives we can, I promise you. I trust you are ready to join the fray.
Of course, I am ready.
It was last seen near the glittering basin. Come, I will show you. Still no sign of the beast. Or any other for that matter. Without a cure, we've no choice but to cut them down before they can cause more harm.
I kind of miss this music, not gonna lie.
The beast was right here, I swear it! I thank you for leading us here, but it is not safe. Please return to your village. We should split up if we are to have any chance of finding it. Zordia, would you see to the west? I will search in the north. Yugiri, I leave the east to you. If you find it, remember, these blasphemies are no longer people. They will not hesitate to strike you down, so you mustn't either. Now, let us not waste any more time.
Alright, Hien. I will do as you command. I will do anything you say! What is my rotation here again? I forgot.
Are you alright? We heard shouting and came as fast as we could. It would appear Zordia arrived not a moment too soon. Why? Why did you kill my brother?
Oh, shiz.
Your brother? Young man, that creature was not your kin, not anymore. Had she not laid it to rest, it would have killed you and countless others. But if your heart cries out for one to blame, let it be me. The beast was slain at my behest, for it was the only way.
Aw, child. Aw, Hien!
No! No, you're wrong! You killed him! Murdered him! I hate you!
Aw, child. Hien! Is this who I think it is? Oh, it is! It's you! It's Issei.
Issei, what are you doing here? Searching for Tonbo. Though clearly you found him first. The monster was his older brother, as you may have guessed, and Tombo gave chase the moment it ran off. I beg you forgive him for his outburst. His brother was all he had left. Their father was conscripted by the Empire and was, regrettably, not among those returned to us in the recent exchange of prisoners. The hope they might one day be reunited was their only comfort when the Viceroy still ruled. I can only imagine how they felt when she walked into Isari, a shadow of her former self. Tsuyu may have had no memories of the monster she was, but her victims still see her in their dreams. Nevertheless, like many, the brothers prayed your mercy would see their family restored. But then they learned of her death, and of their father's absence. Deprived of hope and of hate all at once, they had nothing.
Aw.
My apologies for rambling. No. It was a rather enlightening tale. I spared the woman who brought him pain, and took the brother who brought him comfort. I would hate me too.
I could never hate you!
I swear I will set things right for Tonbo. For all the people of Doma, please return home, Issei, and be safe.
Hien is so understanding.
Let us return to the Domon Enclave. This ordeal has given me much to consider. I owe you a great debt for your timely assistance, and an apology, for I've made you an executioner in young Tonbo's eyes. Would that I had been the one he witnessed cut down the beast his brother had become. But we haven't time to dwell on regrets, and what should have been. No, we need to take action, and after hearing of Tonbo and his brother, I believe I know what must be done. A great many of our brothers and sisters were returned to us in the prisoner exchange, but even so there are those who yet remain lost to us. Meanwhile, Yotsuyu, who was directly responsible for much of our people's suffering, was never held to account for her crimes. In death she claimed vengeance for her suffering at the hands of her brother, but it came at the expense of justice for her countless victims.
I mean, that's fair.
The people of Doma have every right to resent me for failing them and their grief. But what of those who cannot bring themselves to do even that, who are left alone with their anger and their pain? It may well give way to despair, and then they would share the same fate as Tonbo's brother, yes. Which is why we must needs consider who else might share in his anguish, ere we find ourselves beset by more beasts. I will begin making rounds of the villages to inquire after those whom their neighbors believe are more distressed of late. Very good, and I and the other shinobi shall continue our search of the blasphemy which set these events in motion. And you, my friend, we will have need of your talents again ere long. Rest assured, we will keep you apprised of our findings. Ah, Zordia, we have yet to ascertain the whereabouts of the blasphemy from Isari, but for a blessing we have received no reports of others that have turned. Lord Hien, for his part, has made a concerted effort to go about the villages and converse with his subjects directly. I suspect his constant presence has served to allay the people's fears. As one might expect, he has ever been dedicated and diligent, but I fear he has been away overlong. I thought to go and visit what should have been his last destination, Isari. Might I ask you accompany me?
Of course. Hanging out with Yugiri?
Thank you. I am sure there is no cause for concern, but nevertheless, I should be glad to find him quickly. Thank goodness we found him, but why has he remained here so long, I wonder? Zordia, Yugiri, my apologies if I gave you cause for concern. Assessing the state of affairs here in Isari has proven difficult. To put it simply, the people, one and all, refuse to speak with me. They simply bow their heads and turn away at my approach. Knowing the blasphemy originated here, I cannot help but wonder if that has aught to do with their silence.
Oh, shoot.
Perhaps you could attempt to engage with the people in my stead. Surely they have no cause to deny the two of you. I should hope not. Nevertheless, I will don a disguise lest I draw undue attention. Come, Zordia. Let us see what we can discover.
Thank you, both of you.
Do the people here not wish for the monstrosity to be laid low, and for peace to reign once more? Why have they elected to behave in this manner? I owe a great debt to Lord Hien. If not for him, I would still be fighting under the imperial standard. But the village suffered dearly under the occupation. What's more, our lord failed to punish the viceroy for her crimes, and failed to reunite many of their loved ones. I understand why some would think poorly of him, even if I do not. A blasphemy? You are mistaken, my friend. Our village was visited not by a monster, but a kami, Izanami.
Oh shoot, Izanami.
Where Lord Hien is cold and callous, she offers us boundless compassion and love.
Oh no. What?
Aye, that's right. The blasphemy was born of a young woman here in Isari. Tragic, really. Every day she prayed for the safe return of her husband, but it was not to be. If I am to be honest, I fear the loss drove her poor stepmother mad. Kisei has ever been a devout believer in the kami and their blessings, but she's somehow convinced herself that Minato has become one. The delusions of a grieving parent, obviously, but an alarming number of people have come to share in her belief. Heresy is what it is.
Oh, jeez.
The situation here in Isari is complicated, to say the least. I see. Little wonder they would refuse to confide in me. The belief held by some that this blasphemy is a kami, however, is quite concerning. Izanami presides over life and death. She gave birth to the nation of Doma, and ushers souls of the departed unto the land of the dead. I trust you understand that it would mean to deny them a source of hope in such dark times, even one such as this. The villagers also claim this Kisei can speak with the dead. In fact, she will be holding a gathering to demonstrate her powers ere long. The perfect opportunity to gauge the extent of their fanaticism. Not for me, of course. My presence will draw undue attention. Might I ask you both to attend in my stead? Her followers will be gathering in the tavern. Come.
Oh boy, this music sounds great. Not sus at all.
O spirits of Isari, I beseech you, lend me your voice. Let your presence be known. Cross the veil and be among us once more. Akitsu. Father? Still tending the nets, like I taught you? Yes, Father, every day, thanks to you, we never want for fish. Our bellies are never empty. I am proud to be your son. I was always too embarrassed to tell you before, and I am proud to have been your father. May you be ever blessed by the sea's bounty. It hurts! Father, what's wrong? He is in terrible pain, my child. Those who have cheated death's design yet live. It has disrupted the natural order, and the spirits suffer for it. What must we do to ease their pain? Fear not. Izanami shall put all to rights. She will claim the souls not long for this world and deliver them unto the hereafter. When her work is finished, your father's spirit and all the others will find peace.
Besides...
Can you find my father? Can you help me speak with him? Kisei, can you commune with my husband? What about my family? Help me, Kisei, please. She seemed convincing enough, but was that truly Akitsu's father that spoke through her? So is Kisei's ability all that she claims? A young man spoke with his dearly departed father through her. I find that rather hard to believe. Even so, those in attendance appear quite convinced, my lord. And I suspect a great many of the villagers I've spoken with recently are as well. Everywhere I went, the people were in so much pain, and there was nothing I could do or say to give them solace. Yet for all their anguish, there has not been a single report of villagers turning since the incident with Tonbo's brother, which can only mean word of Kisei and her ability to speak with the deceased has spread. The belief we can commune with our loved ones in death is a comfort far beyond my power to provide, though I fail to see how people would abide the kami, claiming innocent lives to restore order. She comes! Izanami!
Uh-oh.
The blasphemy? Here?
I don't trust this! What makes Hien hot? You don't get it? I like his face. He's off the shoulder. His shoulder. His ponytail. His outfit.
Lord Hien! The kami, she appeared as if from nowhere, and in the next instant this poor man was...
I will neither... No, probably... yes.
So we were too late.
I spoke with him before in Asari. Oh! Sun's coming up. Sorry, don't mind me just taking pictures of my boy.
You recognize him then? Curious that he and the blasphemy's first victim were former conscripts. What could the fiend be after, I wonder? It does not become my lord to speak ill of the kami.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this old lady.
I understand you are come to investigate the rumors of a monster born in our village. A blasphemy you called it, but you are sorely mistaken. My stepdaughter, Minato, was chosen to serve as a vessel for Izanami. I witnessed her ascension with my own eyes.
Oh, we seeing it for real. Let's go.
Minato, please! I can't, I won't, there's no logic in it, no justice. The Witch of Doma spared, given a second chance, and my husband condemned to die as a conscript. I'll never know what became of him. Lord Hien can't give me even that. And when I look at the families he made whole and their happiness, I feel the hole in my heart, the gaping wound that will never heal, begin to bleed.
Oh, girl, that's not an ascension.
Only at my beloved's side will I find peace. You mustn't lose faith, Minato. All will be well. Trust in the kami, in Izanami. I want to believe, but...
Oh, shiz. That is not Izanami. That is not Izanami.
Izanami is come to bring peace to the souls of the departed, to restore balance between their world and ours. Surely you would not dare defy the will of the kami? This balance you speak of has claimed the lives of two innocents, but recently returned to us. I will not accept that the kami would condone such cruelty.
Oh, damn.
No crueler than the sight of Yotsuyu free and forgiven, while my husband and son fought Garlemald's wars, now dead and forgotten in a foreign land. With all due respect, Lord Hien, is it not your duty to protect Doma and her people? How are we to place our faith in the man who places the enemy's safety and well-being above that of his own subjects?
Girl, it's more...
Only the kami are deserving of our adoration, as they have always been.
It's not the kami, girl. But I completely understand. I understand where she's coming from.
Are you all right? For a moment you seemed unwell. The villagers are no doubt loath to ask it of me, but preparations must be made for burials and funeral rites. I can offer that much at least. You seem distracted during our conversation with Kisei. Is something the matter? The echo. The blasphemy was indeed born of her stepdaughter. To bear witness to such horror, how her mind must have struggled to comprehend what she saw. As a woman of faith, perhaps her only surviving family becoming one with the divine was the only reality with which she could come to terms. I believe I know now what must be done, but pray her fervor does not drive her to oppose us. Come, let us return to the Enclave. What do you suppose Lord Hien intends to do? From what you told me of your vision, the nature of Minato's despair as well as the focus of her ire is clear. 'Tis plain she was a good-natured and kind-hearted woman grieving for the loss of her husband. This loss alone may not have been enough to turn her, but my failure to hold Yotsuyu to account, together with the sight of other families reunited, compounded the turmoil in her broken heart. A path to despair paved by my good intentions, a truth that will weigh heavy on my conscience unto my dying day. Minato was prepared to die in sadness rather than live in hatred. If she could see the beast she has become, she would implore us to stop her. Which is why we must find the others who were returned to us in the prisoner exchange before they come to harm. Once their safety is assured, we may hunt down the blasphemy and bring a close to this tragedy. Zordia, if you are come to ask after the blasphemy, I have naught to share. As of yet, our shinobi have seen no sign of the beast. The returnees, however, are all accounted for, and Lord Hien has seen them safely to the Kienkan. As such, he is presently assisting with the hunt. For a blessing, there have been no reports of other villagers turning, and yet, before the situation takes a turn for the worse, there is a matter I feel warrants further investigation. Kisei. Though a villager of Isari, I suspect she may in fact hail from my home, Suinosato.
Oh?
Knowing they would be loath to answer my inquiries, I entreated the Kojin to contact Suinosato in my stead. While contact with the outside world is kept to a minimum, they have ever maintained relations with the blue Tamamizu at mention of Kisei. However, their cordial warmth turned strangely cold. If we are to learn more, I fear we have little choice but to go and speak with the people of Suinosato ourselves. A simple visit for you, I imagine, but my banishment complicates matters. That said, it has been many years since I left home. Were I to disguise myself, I might well go unnoticed in your company. If you are willing to take the risk. Thank you. Let us make for Onokoro then.
Hey, she's in this fit!
The garments I wore when we first met. Sufficient, I think, to conceal my identity. How many years has it been since I last saw home? I am a shinobi of Doma, aye, but even as a child I sought to ensure the safety and survival of Suinosato. I was quite bold in those days, if not a touch reckless, and together with the other children I often ventured beyond the borders of home. We yearned for adventure, and so one day we sought to behold the wonders of Doma. Imagine our horror to discover a city of ruin and ash. Imperial soldiers marching through the streets. We fled at the sight, but in my haste I lost my way in the bamboo groves. It was there I first met a young boy named Shun, a sweaty mess as he swung his wooden sword with reckless abandon, training to fulfill his duty as a samurai, he said. Having seen the destruction of which the Empire was capable, I too felt the need to protect my home. I joined him in his exercises, and every day my resolve to protect those I love grew. Sadly, my elders refused to listen. They were content to remain hidden beneath the waves and hopefully the Empire's notice. With a heavy heart I left in search of the strength I believed we sorely needed, and I found it as a shinobi. But the people feared war and conflict would follow on my heels should I return. I do not begrudge them their decision, nor do I regret mine own. Part of me is overjoyed at the thought of seeing home again. Openly defying the wishes of the Ruby Princess, however, would bode ill for my family. They have suffered enough for my transgressions. That is why, for their sake, I would remain naught but a faceless shinobi at your employ. Thank you. With that in mind, let us make for Suinosato. All these years, naught appears to have changed since the day I left. But now is not the time to reminisce. We have work to do. Kisei's departure from Suinosato was likely decades ago. Perhaps the village elders will know why she chose to leave. Oh, Yugiri's with us?
Yo.
So many fond memories. Pay no mind to my idle musings. Lead on. Kisei? The name sounds familiar, and yet... Apologies, friend. My memory is not what it once was. Let us seek out another. It has been quite some time since I last heard that name. She was a priestess of the village, banished after drawing the ire of the former Ruby Princess. What has become of her after all these years, I wonder? Please, is there anything else you can tell us? Unagi was quite close with her, if memory serves. Perhaps you should seek her out.
Oh, that's her mom, isn't it?
Mother, I'd hoped to avoid my parents. But if there is no other way, Zordia, might I ask you take the lead? 'Tis good to see you again. To what do we owe the honor of your visit? Kisei, Yes, we were close, but that was a long, long time ago. Still, if I can be of assistance to the woman to whom we owe so much, I will share all I know. Kisei was born to a family of priests, and even at an early age, she was possessed of extraordinary abilities. Much was expected of her, but everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, the day she said she could speak with the dead. No one believed her at first, but she continued to insist she could, and strove to prove it by demonstrating knowledge well beyond her years, knowledge of events to which she could not have been privy. Word of her talent eventually reached the Ruby Princess, and she was summoned to Shisui of the Violet Tides for a private audience. No one knows what Kisei said to her in the palace, only that the princess was incandescent with rage and ordered her exile forthwith. Some believe Kisei revealed a terrible secret of the royal house, or perhaps spoke a blatant falsehood that proved her a liar. Indeed, the knowledge she claimed to divine from the dead was not always truthful. But who is to say the dead would know the truth, or not seek to deceive? Thus could we never be certain if it was simply a fantasy or a power divine. The one thing that is certain is that no small number of people found comfort in her words. Would that I could tell you more, but sadly I've not seen or spoken with Kisei since her banishment.
Aw, Yugiri! Aw!
Forgive me, but have we met your companion before? She looks familiar.
I believe this is the first time our humble shinobi has visited Suino Sato. I imagine she does, considering she's you. I kind of want to... I don't know. I don't want her respect for me to drop, but...
You could not possibly know me. I am but a lowly shinobi of Doma, nothing more. Being a shinobi, I presume you have heard tales of Yugiri Mistwalker. Should you chance to meet her, may I ask you to deliver her a message? Aww! Tell her that her mother and father love her, that we could not be more proud of her. Oh! I will. Hug. I have no doubt she feels the same, and not a day goes by without you in her thoughts.
Oh, my heart!
Ahem. I believe we have heard enough. Shall we return to Onokoro? My apologies for placing you in so peculiar a situation. Though I must confess, it did my heart good to see mother and father well. All the more reason I must do all I can to keep the peace, as a shinobi of Doma, no, as a member of the Eastern Alliance. Mayhap there will come a day when Suino Sato opens to the world, a day where Yugiri Mistwalker can be reunited with her mother and father. Would that Lord Hien could be afforded the same opportunity. But Lord Kaien and Lady Mina have long since passed, two of too many lives lost in the Imperial occupation. I cannot imagine he would ever succumb to despair, but make no mistake, Lord Hien knows the pain of his people all too well. I can see it in his eyes, and if I may be honest, it troubles me at times. But perhaps I've said too much. Come, we mustn't keep him waiting. For a blessing, Onokoro appears to be untouched by the recent chaos, for now at least. Welcome back. I trust your journey proved an enlightening one. So she does, in fact, hail from Suino Sato. And you say she has possessed these divine gifts since childhood. Genuine or no, the people believe her, and more flock to her side with every passing day. But the returnees are safe at the Kian-kan. Its defense is bolstered. As for the blasphemy, I've spoken with our Confederate allies, among others, and together we will establish a network of contacts across the length and breadth of Doma to take up and search in earnest. Mark my words, we will find it. You've arrived not a moment too soon. The blasphemy has been sighted on the coast. For mercy, there are no reported casualties as of yet. Just the woman I was hoping to see. No sooner had we cast wide our net than a Confederate message was at our door. If you would join us, Rasho awaits our arrival at Onokoro. Well now, that the noble lord of Doma should come in person once again, mayhap these blasphemies truly are a threat. Indeed they are, and I was told you and yours sighted our quarry quite recently. Aye, that we did, near the islands of Shal Rock. The beast appeared to be docile by all accounts, but appearances can be deceiving. If it is as you say, and this blasphemy has eyes only for former conscripts, then we have naught to fear. I trust those we accepted into your care are still in yours at the Kianken, enjoying the finest Domon hospitality. Anyway, I know not why it came to the Ruby Sea, nor why it remains idle, but if we act quickly, there is a chance we can take it unawares. I propose we divide our forces. If you're willing to go ashore, we'll take a ship and circle about the islands. First to find it will have the honor of the kill. Huh. A simple enough plan. Shall we be off to Shell Rock, then? Make ready, Zordia. Should we find the beast first, we must prepare to strike at once. This is where the blasphemy was last sighted. If the fates are kind, this will all be over soon. Kian would find me endearing. Oh, it just ran away. Damn. Such speed. I doubt even my falcons could keep pace with it. Bah, don't tell me that's the blasphemy flying off into the distance. I hoped ill will it bore me in life might compel the beast to stay and fight. Perhaps less of Minato remains than I thought. Minato! That monstrosity was Minato! You knew her. Her family tried to flee to Hingashi during the occupation, but their ship was raided and sunk. When we happened upon the wreckage, she was huddled between her parents on a piece of flotsam, desperate to keep warm. But they had long since grown cold. We took her to Onokoro, where we nursed her back to health. Couldn't imagine what horrors she must have witnessed. The mere sight of our weapons was enough to make her start screaming. She was clearly unfit for our trade, so we sought a village that might take her in. Isari was that village. Several months later, I chanced to meet her on this very beach. She was in the company of a young Ori fisherman, and I knew at once she had found more than a home there. I saw them here many times after that. She found something comforting about this place, I think. According to reports from Radzatan, the memories of and desires of those who turn can influence their behaviors as blasphemies. Then perhaps Minato's memories are what compelled the beast to come here. That would also explain its timid nature. Minato was never one for violence, and the sight of you, blade drawn, no doubt stirred what little of the woman remains in the monster. If that is the case, an assault on the Kiankan is unlikely, guarded as it is by our samurai. But how are we to fight an enemy so quick to flee at the first sign of danger? Robbed of her parents, her husband, and now her life. I would rather we didn't have to at all. But I understand full well the risk we take by doing nothing. If we catch sight of the blasphemy again, you will be the first to know. Perhaps next time we can put her soul to rest. We scarcely had time to draw our weapons ere it fled. Perhaps we must reconsider our approach. There is naught to do now but bide our time. Come, let us return to the Enclave. If the blasphemy fear to show itself, there's no telling how long it may take to track it down a second time. Given what we have learned, it seems likely that the blasphemy will return to Shell Rock. But that knowledge will avail us not if we cannot prevent it from escaping again.
Oh gosh. Great. Oh my gosh, can we... Stop.
Lord Hien, on behalf of the people of Isari, we are come with a request.
Oh my gosh.
We welcome you with open arms and open hearts. What is it you would ask of me? Those returned to us in the prisoner exchange have been granted shelter at the Kiankan. That they yet live is an affront to the Kami's grand design, and the spirits of our loved ones suffer for it. Balance must needs be restored, and so I beseech you to render them unto the goddess Izanami.
Oh my gosh! You want to have them killed?
Absolutely not. 'Tis not our place to pray for the death of others, nor draw steel to sate near bloodlust. When I take a life, be it by command or my own hand, I do so not in service to vengeance, but to uphold my duty to Doma and her people. How did your mercy for Yotsuyu serve your duty? How were your people made better by the sight of her walking free?
Can I slap her?
For her crimes and her cruelty, I cut her down the day we took Doma Castle. I sought to kill her, and by right she should have died then and there. But the Kami willed otherwise, and returned her to us alive and bereft of her memories. With no recollection of her deeds, it would have been Tsuyu who faced punishment, not Yotsuyu. This was my judgment, and for it you were denied the justice you deserved. You have every right to resent me, but you come before me and ask that I sacrifice men and women whose only crime was to suffer, to be condemned to a life of servitude. If you truly believe your cause to be sacrosanct, believe yourselves fit to bear the burden and swing the sword, then step forward. Sophistry and lies! They were meant to die! The spirits demand it! Are these the words of the dead, or the living who yet mourn?
Gosetsu! Yo! I was wondering when he was gonna come back.
Word of the Isari priestess and her gift has spread far and wide, and I thought to see the truth of it myself. By coincidence, I crossed paths with a traveler hailing from the self-same village, who had a mind to return as well, but alas could not. So he bid me deliver a missive in his stead.
Let's go, Gosetsu!
Judging by the striking resemblance, I take it you are the young fisher Akitsu. This is a letter from my father. He was severely wounded in battle, but expects to make a full recovery.
Yo! She's a fraud! She's a fraud! Yo! Yo, caught in the lie! Caught in the lie! This old lady.
He's alive, but that would mean... Surely a woman of your talents can divine a plausible explanation for this turn of events. You shall pay for this contumely. My daughter will make certain of that.
Damn. Oh, Gosetsu!
Apologies for the abrupt and otherwise unannounced arrival. As you can see, my lord Hien, I am returned. Full glad am I for it. Thanks to your timely arrival, we have given the lie to Kisei's claims to preternatural powers. Aye, it did not take long to learn the state of affairs here in Doma, and that my assistance may be required. I had heard tales of Kisei's channeling the dead, including the father of one young fisherman. Imagine my surprise when I saw this spirit in the flesh. He was also on pilgrimage, paying respects to the departed, and we chanced to meet in a Liberation Front infirmary. Would that we were not brought back together under such circumstances, but I am glad to see you all hale and hearty.
Oh, Gosetsu. Oh, it's a kid.
Tonbo, is something the matter? I wish to apologize, Lord Hien. It was wrong of me to say the things I said.
Oh, Tonbo, you're okay.
I understand nothing can bring back my father. I was so angry, Oh. Please, Tombo, you needn't apologize. It's just, my brother was always so brave. But father's death was more than he could bear, and it turned him into that monster. If he wasn't brave enough, what chance do I have? We wanted to perform the rites for father, but the body was never returned to us, so... Not that I blame you for that, Lord Hien. I understand nothing could be done. That Akitsu's father survived is nothing short of a miracle, but I fear he is indeed the rare exception. I've offered prayers at more graves than I can count. It would be cruel to give others the false hope that their loved ones might return. And yet Kisei continues to do just that, offering comfort with her lies. Attempting but ephemeral balm for wounds that have yet to heal, much like the anger some harbor to you, or resentment for the families restored while theirs remain broken. But for those like that poor boy whose hearts lack for hatred, who know only sadness and despair, aye, they too may return. Exposing the truth of Kisei's deception hasn't helped matters. If we are to prevent more suffering, we must pursue a lasting solution. I would be most grateful for your counsel, Gosetsu. There is much I could learn from your pilgrimage. There is aught you require, but say the word and it shall be done. It is the least I can do for the part I played in Yotsuyu's tragedy. I failed her in the end, but I will not fail you, my lord. Aww. Thank you again for your aid, Zordia. The day's events have given me much to consider. When our next step is decided, you will be first to know.
I said, welcome to my world.